Hi, Sag. This is your tarot reading for the month of February. For all Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising. Yeah, and Venus. Obviously, this cannot be for every Sagittarius on the planet. For who I am picking this up for, there's a lot of heart chakra blockages. Like blockage going on. I'm sorry, I just looked up and my cat is up there hiding and just realized I was in here doing a video and is about to jump down here. You gonna get in mommy's video? Be surprising. Sorry about that. Okay, what it is I'm feeling the lack of need of love, the lack of need of compassion. Not compassion in the way of like you have compassion or empathy, you know, that empath energy, but lack of the need for it. Feeling a little helpless or rejected in that area. Like, why? Just why? And I'm picking up frustration, anger, guilt, disappointment, which is blocking the heart chakra. But I feel that this is more of the lack of opening up and allowing a larger understanding of love to let you in. It's a communication that you have with yourself. I feel like it's a protective action. Like if I stay shielded and I have that protection device up, then I'm all good. Which is actually rendering you more in a powerless energy than a powerful energy. Because you're holding on to insecurities that are keeping you from allowing that heart chakra to heal and come in, not just to like love, like Valentine's Day love. No, I mean like the whole bigger picture of the oneness, the love, the unconditional truth, and it really comes down to supplying you with power. You know, that power center, that solar plexus, isn't being able to strengthen the way that it should because it's holding on to repressed anger, repressed fear, doubt, guilt, anxiety, judgment. The communication has a block, which is causing the heart not to be able to show you the bigger picture, to be able to step into a larger variety of that healthiness. But there's a wall there. Like, no, I'm not going to let you in. No. I don't need that. When it's not like a relationship love necessarily, but it's being open to forgiveness, to trust, to the compassion that comes with that trust and love. So much more than empathy, so much more than compassion, so much more than a sexual drive here, you know, that would go in that love arena, so to speak. But this has to do with learning a new creative expression within yourself that's actually healing that stubborn inflexibility that's keeping you from allowing it to get in. I'm getting a little bit of I put grief, sorrow, shame, and blame together often. Yeah, this has definitely got its heart, solar plexus, and sacral chakra. So it's actually coming from the root. But I feel like you think that you feel secure and safe as long as you stay in your safety zone. And it's stepping out of your safety zone and realizing there's so much more to it than what you're giving yourself. Taking the ambition to bring it into a new level of an opening up. Getting away from the self-judgment or love on a three-dimensional plane, like what you've been taught to think that it's about, but you're realizing it's so much more than that, but you're blocking it. You don't, it's like you're afraid to take that chance, which is leading you back to self-deception. This has to do with higher, possessing your own true soul self. A new soulful level of value, liberation, self-esteem, inner emotional security. Allowing yourself to be more open to trying new hobbies, new events, new pleasures, which will help you to overcome your insecurities and grow on all four: emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically. Getting past parts of your hidden self that you have locked up in a closet so bad that you're in denial that you don't even want to admit. But this is coming into taking the heaviness off the heart. Breaking habits that actually don't support you. Yes, gorgeous baby. My cat. Really communicating with yourself and the world around you, or the community and the people that are in your life, into a new true self-realization of what you really hope, dream, goal, wish, desire to bring into your life, as well as create with your life. But you've got to get past some of your own self-deceptions that's blocked you, because it's like programmed in your head, or you've programmed it in your head and your thought, thinking, feeling process to think it's this way when it's so much more pure. But the fear is holding you down, and actually what you think is blocking and making things better, protecting you, is actually keeping you from moving forward. But they keep bringing me back to personal interests. And for some of you, this is definitely a conversation you're having with other people, whether it's through voicemails, through emails, through gossip, phone calls. This is about expressing yourself, feeling open and free enough to believe in what it is you truly feel and get past some of those fears. Some of your insecurities, which forces you to put judgment on yourself, which is just keeping you from getting to the depth of the true you. And I was just told, for some of you, the resentment that you hold on to is your responsibility. Meaning, you're the one who's choosing it. You may not mean to, but you're doing it, for some of you. I really feel like this month is about taking a chance and opening up. And will you? Will you open up? Will you regenerate? Rebirth? Will you do that with a communication? Transform that inner emotional security, that true pleasure, that true desire, listening to your true spiritual urges, as well as in some cases, is that taking part in your honor, your reputation, your prestige, your professional world outside of you? And if not, why? Because this all has to do with transformational healing. All right, let's see what the cards have to say. Sag, please give me... I have way too many pillows up over here. Please give me the platform for Sagittarius for the month of February. The only thing you have in your sign is Mars up until the 16th, which is what I consider the sacral chakra, which probably is making you deal with passion, action, aggression, sexuality, whether it's sexual relationships or sexuality within how you feel about yourself and how you're viewed at the same time, right up until the 16th. And are you learning whatever it is that Mars is trying to teach you about your higher self and that sexuality, that sacral chakra, which leads to the solar plexus and the heart? And it's the only one that's directly in your sign. Now, Capricorn is your self-worth, self-value, self-esteem, possessing your own soul, the shape-shifting of that. And it's like a loaded house up in there. So, yeah, you should definitely be learning something new about yourself right now. You need to learn to focus on the beauty, to realize that beauty surrounds you. Structure, function, and order. Like I said, I feel like you're not, like you're keeping that open, larger view from a loving aspect, from being able to communicate with you. Like you're fighting it, but you know it. Like you know it, but you just, I don't want to hear it. Okay, you moved. Or as you're coming into it, it's just difficult in general. It's taking you to a place that you're not used to. Yeah, this is beginnings of change, focusing on beauty, focusing on beauty, realizing that beauty surrounds you, that it is part of the bigger picture, the structure, the function, the order, setting a new foundation. Confront your imbalances that have been out of control. This is my sacred geometry deck. So I pretty much just show it to you and tell you what these ones mean. Tension, fear, helplessness. This is duality, finding wholeness within that duality, the polarity of the separation and the isolation. That's exactly what this is that I'm feeling. Like, you're feeling to keep it separate, and instead of embracing the change, maybe you are embracing the change, but it feels like it just feels like a part of you is afraid. It's still at arm's length, and it's keeping you from getting past the fears, past the wholeness. I mean, into the wholeness. There's a tension of helplessness. There's a tension from fear, guilt, disappointment. You're feeling separated from it, from that oneness, separated from that love, separated from everything that you really, truly are trying to bring in and manifest. But I feel like there's a part of you that's actually pushing it away and not realizing it. You have to confront your own imbalances within this, because you're not focusing on the beauty that you need to, seeing the bigger picture of that, and embracing the beginning of the changes. My light and dark deck. Tell me about Sagittarius. Platform for Sagittarius for February. Yeah, I feel like this is just, you've got to learn to think bigger. You know how to think bigger. I mean, you're a Sagittarius. But at the same time, you're so go with the flow that I feel like you're not embracing it. You're not giving it the chance. You're shutting something down before it has a chance to even create a foundation and start, which is kind of keeping you stagnant. Well, that makes sense. You're in a process at the moment. Kind of, I see it like, it's the Eight of Pentacles. You're going through the process of prudence, more or less. This is saying the vine's not quite ready, which makes sense because it's like you're trying to ascend in some way, but you're fighting. You are accidentally creating it, feeding the creativity that's accidentally going against you, it seems like. Yeah, because this is the prudence, the vine's not quite ripe yet for the moving forward, and that's because you're still holding on to the Lotus attack. You still have poor pestilence thinking in the way that you're viewing something. Like I said, I feel like this is saying, the way you've been programmed through this third dimensional world and the world we live in to, maturely think of how something is such a lower negative vibration, and you're learning to separate that, but you're having problems separating that. And this is why the vine isn't quite ripe. Why you feel the duality, like why you feel like you're separate. You've got to confront where you're feeling separate. You've got to take that chance. Then it'll bring you into the beauty and into the brand new beginning. But I feel like what it is you've just been blocking yourself because you're fighting yourself on the change. And you know what? Anytime any of us start to move up, become more open-minded, become more awakened, become more psychically in tuned, we all go through this in some form. This is the Four of Pentacles is coming out also. It's Capricorn. Grounded, power, and manifesting. It's finding your induous, your four, your emotional, mental, spiritual, physical balance of all four. It is all four elements. It's finding your inner sun is being reborn. But I feel like this just flat out is a time being of new discovery. Not just of self, of shape-shifting. Shape-shifting self. But it's going to bring you to the golden fields. It's going to bring you to the golden fields. If you just believe in it, you give it the chance, you allow the air of it to be breathed through you, and you take the opportunities to successfully evolve within yourself, then it's going to give you the triumphant. It's like if you have the courage to put the faith in something that you really just can't see yet, then you'll get the rewards threefold. But they only are going to come if you give it that chance. This is the triumphant return, the joyous return, the fields, of golden bloom being of bloom, but I wanted to say hatched. I don't know why. But it's also a majestic tribal leader that might be in your life. It could be also a Virgo. Venus and Virgo. So this is, taking those new opportunities. You've got to believe in them, because it's going to bring you to an Ace of Pentacles. But I feel like you're going to be working on this all month. You may even be working on this next month. But because you got a lot of energy going on in Capricorn, so you might be working on this throughout the month. The year. But this would definitely be a very positive energy that's moving you forward. Ace of Pentacles means it's something that is being like a divine gift, a seed of matter, of opportunities that is coming your way. But if you don't put the faith in it, you don't give it that faith. Because this is one of those times where I need you to prove to me that it's going to be okay, and then I'll put the faith into it. That's not how this works. You have to put the faith in your own personal interests and your own personal truths, and taking that soulful connection and value and move yourself forward. And if you do, over this year, it's going to become a very positive thing. But yeah, you're going to be doing this throughout the year, but you're definitely, because it's definitely for the month, but you're definitely going to be seeing it throughout the year, because you're going to have, the Five of Cups. You're going to trip over yourself throughout this year and have those questions where you're going to think that you've misstepped, more or less. But there's so much resurrection here, but you're going to walk back and forth a little bit. Okay, let's get out of this. What's going on in up close and personal relationships? Up close and personal relationships. Up close and personal relationships for Sag. I'm getting the Nine of Wands. This is a Sagittarius. Okay, first off, we've been talking about? Look at all of those eyes. This is seeing these relationships for what they are. Spiritual growth, being alert, but dedicated to seeing the truth. This is the third eye, bringing the truth forward, moving forward, journeying into the unknown with confidence because of the faith of that eye within these relationships. Up close and personal. What else is going on in up close and personal? It's going to bring you to a new level of prestige throughout the year, maybe not necessarily this month, but yeah, you have the opportunity, you have it, you're seeing the truth, you're moving forward, you're learning to have faith, but you're going to go through a little bit of uncertainty, and I feel like this is about you, but throughout learning about you, you're learning about the relationships, up close and personal relationships in your life. You're learning where they're restless, where they're uncertainty lies, where it feels like the journey is too steep and you're not sure. You're going to step back and forth, feel back and forth, and this energy, and that's learning new rules and walls and boundaries, setting them properly so that you are setting healthy boundaries for yourself, for your self-worth, your self-value, self-liberation, your inner emotional security, but you're learning that. It's your sun and your moon is one. Up close and personal for Sag. I mean, I know that this is for February, but it seems like they're giving you a lot more than just February. Fei Wu, it's going along with exactly what I was saying. This is, do not listen to other people's ideas, impressions. This is morning meeting. Like I said, this is from the Sacred Geometry deck. This is your own inner communication. It brings me to Fei Wu, which is wisdom and knowledge. But wisdom, Fei Wu often is spoken about power as well as money. But Fei Wu, on a deeper understanding, is recycling of energy. And as you recycle that energy, you don't hoard it. You recycle it, which then allows it to continuously ascend. Money, in all intents and purposes, mean absolutely nothing in the food chain of life. It's just a piece of paper. But learning the power of that circulation and that knowledge that brings that money to you, brings you actual power, knowledge, bringing the money around to where it is now in that circulation. Do you get what I'm saying? This is saying, understand the power and the knowledge comes from the circulation of that truth. It can bring you money if that's the power that you're searching for, but it can bring you the knowledge if that's the power that you're searching for, or the combination of two. However, it cannot be hoarded. It definitely brings you prosperity and beautiful protective energy, but only if it's being circulated. And that's bringing me right back to this going back and forth, going back and forth, going back and forth. And they're saying you're going back and forth because you're having the problem circulating it up. If that makes any sense to you. Which will be changing the relationships. Okay, now, it's this one. Yeah. Slow but steady. This is definitely something that's moving you forward. Slow but steady. It's the Prince of Pentacles. This is going to take you some time. You've got to get a handle on this. And it's the direction you're going to be going in general, but it's also the direction that the relationships in your life are going to be going. And these up close and personal relationships. Because if the relationships aren't the right ones, then they're not going to be taking you in that circulation of energy, of that knowledge and that power that you are trying to ascend to, whether it is knowledge and power or financial. You're going to have the right people with you, the right relationships with you. And this is going to take some time of that going back and forth as you learn how to circulate that energy. Anything else for up close and personal? Meditate and ask the heart. This is all about soulful journeying. This is all about soulfully journeying and figuring out where it is your soul wants to take you and the relationship. And I feel like there's no point in going into the goals, the ambitions, the dreams, because with Fei Wu here, it's recycling it all the way around. So it's going to recycle the friends. It's going to shape-shift you. But then it's going to open up a new floodgate of that foundation that's going to create, you know, those larger groups, those larger friends, but are going to be able to back up your goals, your ambitions, your dreams, and then eventually help bring that into moving forward of a financial success. So I feel like this is a moment of starting to get the clarity right setting that foundation and learning what it is, and then it's going to start moving forward. Remember, we have Mercury going retrograde. So Mercury's going to go retrograde on the 16th, the same day Mars moves out. And that may be part of that feel like you're going back and forth, because that communication just went into overdrive with only communicating with you. And it's in Pisces, which can make it very confusing with its magic in general. All right, I love you guys. Like I said, check back for the astrology, but I feel like this is definitely a time to move forward, but you're having to confront some of your own truths and where you feel separated from the oneness, because there's a much needed open heart that needs to happen here. I love you guys. Bye.